Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to name and write formulas for covalent compounds. It's a very easy way. All you will need is to memorize our important prefixes. Let's have a look at them. The subscript of 1 stands for mono, the subscript of 2 stands for di, the subscript of 3 stands for tri, 4 stands for tetra, and 5 stands for penta, and so on. You will need them in naming and writing the formulas. How to differentiate between covalent compounds and ionic compounds. In a covalent compound, the bonding is between two nonmetals. For example, CO and a subscript of 2. C stands for carbon, which is a nonmetal, which is also bonded to O, which stands for oxide, which is also a nonmetal. In an ionic compound, the bonding is between a metal and a nonmetal. For example, CaF with a subscript of 2. Ca stands for calcium, which is a metal. F stands for fluoride, which is a non-metal. How to know if an element is a metal or a non-metal? You must use the periodic table. So from group 1 to group 15, except for those elements H, B, S, I, G, E, A, S, S, B, T, E, P, O, the rest are all metals. Where if you can see helium, all of those are non-metals. This is how we differentiate between them. Now let's go for our first exercise. Now we need to name those formulas. First of all, you need to mention the elements that those symbols stands for. So C stands for carbon. O stands for oxygen, so we write oxygen. You always need to leave some space between them, so if you can add a prefix. So first of all, it won't be oxygen, it will be oxide. So we have to move oxygen, it will be always oxide. 2 stands for di. So we must add a di before oxide, and this is how we name it. Now there must be a question that says, why don't we add a mono to carbon since it's only one? It's a note that if you have the first element with a subscript of 1, you don't add a mono to it. Unless if you have a 2 or 3, you add a di for the carbon, you add a tetra for the carbon, and so on. But if you have a subscript of 1, you don't add a mono. For the second element, you add a mono, you add a di, and you add all of the prefixes. Now let's go to our other exercise. O stands for oxygen. F stands for fluoride. Here we have a subscript of 2, so it stands for di, so it's gonna be di. I'm gonna make this O smaller. Oxygen. 2 stands for di also, so it's gonna be fluoride. This is how you name it. If you have here a 3, it will be tetrafluoride. Trifluoride. If you have a 4, it will be tetra. If you have a 5, it will be penta, and so on. Now we're doing the opposite thing. We're writing the formulas for the compounds. Nitrogen, so it's N only, since we don't have any prefixes. So we'll just write N. If you want, you can add a 1 or you remove it. I just remove it. Fluoride stands for F. Since we have a tri stands for 3, so it will be NF3. Dinitrogen pentoxide. First of all, we need to have a look at our elements. So nitrogen stands for N, oxide stands for O. Di stands for 2, which is a prefix. Penta stands for 5, which is also a prefix. This is our chemical formula. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now I want you to visit chemistryology.webs.com for more tutorials. Bye.